Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Pace2K here, and today I got a brand new video for you guys about Luka Doncic's amazing start to the season. So yeah, let's go and get straight to it. We don't want to waste time here. Last night, Luka Doncic became the second youngest player to ever record a 40-point triple-double in NBA history. Who was the youngest, you might be asking?
LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
His incredible start to the season has gotten a lot of NBA fans to start comparing Luka to other NBA greats at his age. In my opinion, if Luka can continue to produce what he's doing right now throughout the rest of the season, then he is easily going to be considered the best 20-year-old of all time, and here's why. Luka Doncic has a comp of the following players at 20 years old. And let me re-emphasize 20, bro. It is not like a full career breakdown. This is only the versions of these players at 20 years old. So the list is of LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Magic Johnson, Kevin Garnett, and Isaiah Thomas. Those 7 players right there, I was able to get by narrowing down a list of every player who was an all-star at 20 years old. Even though everyone was amazing at 20 in this list, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that there's really only 2 players that are even comparable to Luka's season so far, and those are LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal. Other than that, there's going to be some people out there who are going to try to say, oh, Magic Johnson is up there and all that. But honestly, I understand where you're coming from as far as team record because, LeBron and Shaq did not actually make the playoffs, while Magic Johnson did make the playoffs, and he obviously, had a record of 60-22 in the regular season. But the difference here is that Magic actually had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and, other great players on his team, and he just wasn't the main option like these other 2 guys. But anyways, though, let me go ahead and go back in time to revisit the 20-year-old versions of LeBron and Shaq and pretty much just see how they can compare to Luka at his age right now of 20 years old.
Password. Don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk.
ID? You're early.
But I'm ready.
Then prove it.
The year is 1993. Shaq is a rookie who is already building himself a reputation as a great young big man in the league. He played a total of 81 games and like 37 or 38 minutes per game as well, which was honestly insane, obviously because he was a rookie first of all. But yeah, he was able to do that for nearly the entire season. Obviously 81 games, only 1 away from 82, but unfortunately he wasn't able to lead his team to the playoffs. The Magic ended up being a 9 seed in the Eastern Conference, which was really unfortunate because he would have had an even bigger case at 20 years old if he made the playoffs, but he wasn't able to do that. Anyways, though, Shaq averaged 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks per game that year. And that was all as a 20-year-old rookie, man. That is insane if you really think about it. He was already being compared to a young Wilt Chamberlain at the time, which, that's the highest praise you can get at that time. So the number 1 pick in the 1992 NBA draft obviously was not disappointing anyone whatsoever, and he went on to win the 1993 Rookie of the Year award that season as well. Moving on to 05, you got LeBron's sophomore year, which was obviously also insane, much like Shaq's. He led the entire league in minutes per game, averaging 42.4 minutes per game, and he also played 80 games throughout that season. Honestly, that's one of the craziest things to really just sit down and look at and really just think about that, because right now LeBron is in year 17 and he doesn't look like he's aged at all, even though he, has taken a lot of minutes on throughout the early stages of his career. He did record 27 points, 7 rebounds, and also 7 assists that year, and he led the Cavs to a 40-42 record that season in 2005. Unfortunately though, just like Shaq, he was not able to make the playoffs, and he also was part of a 9 seed in the Eastern Conference. Either way, that was obviously a historical run by LeBron. On the other hand, you've got Luka Doncic, who is right now averaging 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists in 35 minutes per game right now. His shooting splits are currently at 48% from the field, 31% from 3, and 81% from the free throw line. His 3-point percentage might be bad, but honestly it's very misleading because he literally attempts 9 of them a game, and if you're not a huge NBA fan, if you don't really understand how crazy that is, pretty much that's the 3rd in the league behind James Harden and Buddy Hield. Also, speaking of James Harden, Luka is slowly building his step back 3 into a signature shot, much like Harden. Plus, the Mavericks are already on track to be a 5 seed with an 8-5 record right now as of recording this video. By the way, I also think it's pretty cool how the Mavericks have literally dedicated their entire franchise to Luka Doncic after Dirk Nowitzki's retirement. They took a big risk in trading up in the 2018 NBA draft to pick him up, but it obviously worked out in their favor. They already had Dennis Smith Jr., who already had a very promising rookie season, and a lot of people honestly just didn't like the fit of him and Luka together because they're both very ball heavy dominant point guards who need the ball in their hands at all times to be as effective as possible. But basically they chose Luka over Dennis Smith Jr., and it obviously worked out great for them. You know, Dennis Smith was traded for Porzingis and, you know, a lot more obviously, but that's the gist of it. They got Porzingis. They also have a superstar in Luka now, and the Mavericks are looking very scary, and they have a very bright future, man. Very, very bright. Back to the comparisons though, I think we can all agree that Luka is statistically better than both LeBron and Shaq at 20 years old. And honestly, comparing him to Shaq is not very fair because, you know, both of them are players who play completely different positions. You know, one's a center and one's a point guard. But just as far as numbers and how they contribute to a team's success, I definitely got to give it to the 20-year-old version of Luka over the 20-year-old version of Shaq. However, it gets a lot more interesting with LeBron. The only real difference here is that they played, you know, different eras of basketball that required different things. So the 3-point shot was already, you know, blown up by the point that Luka came into the league. Not for LeBron, obviously. And, you know, LeBron at 20 years old in the season of 05, you also got to think about pace, man. The pace is so much faster in today's league that the Cavs actually ran a pretty fast pace for their time with LeBron. They were actually running a pace of 89.7, while Luka's Mavericks are currently running a pace of 99.8. And that is like a completely different ballpark. And the funny thing is, the Cavs actually ran a fast pace compared to the state of the league that they were in. And the Mavericks are actually running a slow, or, you know, a decently slow pace compared to other teams in today's league. So that's honestly crazy to really think about how the league has evolved that much. But other than that, you also got usage rate, which Luka is literally used up 35% of the time that he's on the court, while LeBron was only used up 30% of the time that he was on the court. So obviously you expect Luka to have better numbers. But honestly, this all boils down to one thing, and that is team success. Because like I said, their numbers are very similar. The way they play are pretty similar, except for obviously LeBron is much more athletic. It really just comes down to team success. Like I said, you know, Luka is currently in the playoffs with the Mavericks. LeBron missed the playoffs with the Cavs in 05. So right now, like I said, this entire video is based on right now, like what is happening right now through 13 games of the season for the Mavericks and Luka Doncic. I have to give it to Luka. He is definitely the best 20-year-old version of any NBA player in NBA history. 20 years old. I have to keep re-emphasizing that because people will take me the wrong way if I just go like Luka's better than LeBron, you know, because it's only the 20-year-old versions. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Also make sure you turn on post notifications, and also comment down below what you think about this video. Give me some feedback on whether Luka is indeed the best 20-year-old version of any NBA player in NBA history. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and see you in the next video. Pace signing out.